Now on GMA with a remarkable story of finding hope amidst the rubble. It's been nearly 20 years since a huge 9.2 magnitude earthquake created a deadly tsunami that struck countries throughout Southeast Asia with no warning. Our very own and dear friend Diane Sawyer. I do know her name.
Whatever.
I'm always like, I'm fangirling over here, so that's what I'm doing. This is a story I know that you, like many, will never forget.
Absolutely never. And even though it's now been 20 years since I traveled to see the tsunami wreckage and the devastated area, I kept hearing the whole time, I remember when I first heard, that there was a young woman who had impossibly managed to cling to the top of a palm tree for 8 hours as the raging water and the horrible debris tore off her clothes and broke her bones. It was searing agony. And it stunned all of us when we learned who she was, and she was someone whose face we had often seen before.
It's the morning after Christmas 2004. Families wander onto a beach, no idea of the terror to come. They look up and see a baffling apparition on the horizon, almost like a towering white wall of water. Then something, maybe someone, is swallowed up. The wave doesn't stop. Someone on shore seems frozen in place, and it's too late to run. People begin to scream. All around, merciless waves of water hit hundreds of miles of shoreline. In some places at 40 to 50 miles per hour. This man sucked under. As it barrels into towns, the water's grinding up steel beams, metal roofs, houses, trees. Buses and cars float away. A child clings to a tree. And also, in this horror is a 25-year-old woman. I first met her right after the nightmare.
Like sometimes things happen, and they can happen any second. It can be the most beautiful moment, and then the next second.
Her name is Petra Nemcova, one of those people who seem to live a lucky life. A beautiful small-town girl from communist Czechoslovakia who was discovered and becomes one of the top supermodels in the world on runways, the covers of big magazines. She'd also found the man of her dreams, Simon Attlee, a gifted photographer with piercing blue eyes. They were on vacation in Thailand in their bungalow, packing to go home.
And it was just such a split of second, just pulled us out of the bungalow, and we were outside.
She's hurtling forward, trying to grab onto a floating roof, anything.
When I grabbed it, I thought I would be able to stand up on it, but there was nothing under. It was empty, so it sucked my legs in.
The crushing debris slams into her body, breaking her bones.
My pelvis were broken, so my legs didn't work.
And as she's carried away, the final thing she sees and hears is Simon.
Then he can scream, "Petra, Petra." And it's the last time I saw him.
That was Petra when I first met her. This is Petra today.
All the time that's traveled between us, you know?
Almost 20 years.
Yeah. Did you dread coming to talk again?
No, I was so excited to see you. It's always difficult to go back in that moment when my life changed.
In the deadly chaos, she grabs onto the top of a palm tree. Around her, desperate people fighting the water. Children calling out to be saved.
Children trying to scream for help. I couldn't go and swim to them or try to help them, because I couldn't move my legs. Couldn't do anything.
And just as searing as the sound of the screams, the silence when they stopped.
After half an hour, you didn't hear the children anymore. You didn't hear some of the people anymore.
A terrified young woman holds onto the top of a tree for nearly 8 hours. Every bone in her pelvis is crushed. Blood fills her stomach from internal injuries. And she's completely naked. The water has torn off her clothes.
I went into this stillness, into almost like a meditative state, because I knew if I start panicking, you lose more energy, and I needed all my energy to keep alive.
20 years ago, I flew into that hellscape left by the tsunami, the suffering beyond despair. I remember a little boy standing in the wreckage with his sign, and a 2-year-old boy whose mother had tossed him into a tree to save him. We stopped on the side of the road where a Thai family told us they had survived by floating in their car. They lost everything except each other. In all, more than 230,000 people will die, including the man with the piercing blue eyes, swept away when an instant meets an eternity. And then, for that agonized young woman holding onto the tree, the sudden miracle of kindness. Strangers give her clothes and gently place her on a floating mattress to steer her through the debris toward medical help.
One of the time, and it was so sweet because actually the water took everything what I had on, and so he just left me some clothes, and I asked him, can I get your T-shirt? And so I got a T-shirt. Those people were ready to risk their lives for strangers, and that shows you the best of humanity.
And tomorrow, you will hear the astonishing thing that this woman has been doing for 20 years to transform what happened on that unbearable day.
That day of a tsunami, I didn't have a choice to help children, but today and every day I have a choice, and we all have a choice every day.
And as we say tomorrow, you are going to hear about the truly remarkable things she has been doing for the past 20 years and transforming all the darkness into light. By the way, she's offering everybody a chance to come help and do it too. And the good news is there's now a warning system for tsunamis in the South Asia area. And so there's a chance for people to get to higher ground.
It all happened so fast and so devastating.
Fast. Coming in at 100, sometimes 500 miles per hour in places in the South Pacific.
Survived.
Isn't it?
And you could have heard a pin drop as we were watching just now. My goodness.
I think the doctors who looked at her bone scans and what she went through can't believe that she got through that.
And she has a purpose. She has a purpose to be here, and you're going to share more of that tomorrow. And we also want to tell you that our friends at National Geographic also recently released a series. I can't, if I look in your eyes, I absolutely
Hypnotized.
I know.
Calm down.
It brings back memories. Great memories. National Geographic has a series documenting the events of that day.
Yes.
It's called Tsunami, Race Against Time. It's available on Disney+.
And they helped us with our footage, so we thank them so much.